Greetings from Zurich, Switzerland.
Oh my God, from there, yeah.
So in my own thinking and writing, there are two extremes in society that connect to amour propre. Der vernünftige Feigling, the reasonable coward who thrives through passive aggressiveness within what I call a structured, artificial domain, and der vernunftslose Kühne, the unreasonable, courageous one, who feels at home in what I call a natural, chaotic domain, projecting a form of deceptive heroism. Both seem trapped in their own forms of narcissism and repression today, both supported by our technologically and generally advanced society. Have similar concepts appeared in your own thinking or working?
Okay, sorry, I have some health problems. Okay, I want to say that I agree with your criticism of this, the way the notion of courage is re-emerging, but today I'm in a mood which is not so much combative as I am obsessed with instantly trying to defend the bad guys, almost, no? So listen, I'm now finishing a comment. You know what, nonetheless, I don't like in Europe today, Western Europe mostly. Listen, I was now analyzing a little bit the situation in the Middle East, especially this big enigma. Why did Syria, Assad regime, disintegrate so quickly? There wasn't even a struggle, a proper struggle. And I read saw some interviews and so on where this, I always forget their name, group of insurgents which won over in Syria, they were themselves surprised by how fast it went. And then I remember it was the same with Afghanistan. Taliban themselves were surprised. My God, because you should never forget the army of the regime supported by Americans had almost triple the number of soldiers, much better arms, but it just didn't have the will to fight. It disintegrated. And even if you go back, it was quite similar in 1980, I think, 1980 in Iran. There wasn't even a real struggle. The structure collapsed. And this is, for me, the enigma, because I know the situation is much more complex and so on. But I think that this stance of not being ready to fight, you just let it disintegrate. Okay, in the case of Assad, it was an clear why. It was an extremely unpopular regime. But even now, I will make a crazy jump. Go to Western Europe. I mean, the so-called peacenik movement, like we are risking their nuclear war, we should fight for peace. I basically don't agree with them, because more and more, even in public media, the stance predominating more and more is that Ukrainians are just dying, it's a proxy war of NATO and so on. No, I have many contacts with Ukraine now. And they say, sorry, the choice for us is not a peace with Russia. No, peace with Russia means what? Means our obliteration as a nation. Russia is repeatedly claiming that we don't exist as a nation. It's not a literal genocide, but it's a, let's call it, I don't know, cultural, symbolic genocide. So what I find problematic is this basic unreadiness to fight. It is it is as if Muslim fundamentalists, I'm not on their side, but don't you see that they are nonetheless the only one ready to fight? We are always in the West looking for excuses and so on. Our basic attitude is now just to maintain our relatively comfortable mode of life.
So
And-
Slavoj, we need
Yeah.
to keep it short because there are other ones in
I'm so
queue.
sorry. So
But
my
I
point is
just want
again
to
that
say,
to
no, but
properly, I will be very short now. I'm sorry.
I just
To
want to
properly
say,
answer your question, we should go into specific notion of, I'll put it in very stupid way, good versus bad courage.
yeah, and it's
not,
sad. I'm Kurdish myself. It's very sad what's happening. What I want to say
no,
is,
you are Kurdish, wonderful. For example, Kurds are my heroes there. Even if, as many leftists note, they are dismissed by many leftists as on the payroll of, I don't know, CIA, supported by Americans and so on. But that's the paradox that we have to accept. Don't reduce people, Ukrainians, Kurds, to puppets fighting another superpowers war.